Order, please, please. We need to talk about, there's some lies going around. There's some lies going around about me, and it's led me to have to take a hair follicle drug test to clear my good name. But before we get into the results of that, how did we get here? Hate or honestly comments of any kind to anyone mentioned in this video on behalf of me or yourself. The purpose of this video is to give my commentary and opinion on matters of public concern. Thank you. Okay, so who is it that's making these allegations, you may be wondering? Well, this person alleges and purports to be and is known to be a victim, a survivor of Sean P. Diddy Puff Daddy Combs. This person alleges that she was and that she saw and she remembers getting pew-pewed in the face by Sean P. Diddy Puff Daddy Combs. She has really been, very public about her story. She testified against him, I believe, in the trial against him back in 2000 or so, 1999. It came out of that shooting, the Shine nightclub shooting, whatever. I've had her on the channel before, on my other channel, ThatSurpriseWitness. She was on a live stream. I really liked her. I enjoyed her on the channel. She provided a lot of perspective. I respected her. I was very nice to her and genuinely did like her, and I enjoyed the conversation that we had. I mean, in my opinion, somewhat out of the blue, a couple months ago, this was back in June, she made a YouTube video on her YouTube channel. And again, please don't contact anybody mentioned here. This video is to clear my name because there's been some very, very harmful false statements made that's literally led me to have to come and make this video. Statements were made as if they were facts, which were not true at all. So don't send any hate. But she makes this video and I'm kind of thinking, this is a little bit out of nowhere. June 17th called YouTube Blackout. What are these content creators up to? At one point, she straight up just calls me out. She issues a challenge to her audience to go and check. What did she exactly say? Something about going to check in the last 2 months. If any of these people have said her name.
And I'm going to start calling the names because y'all know the names. Tisa Tells, Mims on Make It Make Sense, BJ Investigate. Y'all see my nail? I hit my finger the other day.
Girl, why as soon as she said y'all see my nail, she flipped her middle finger up? And it was as soon as she said BJ Investigates, that's when she noticed it and had to flip the camera off. See, God don't like ugly. Pop that nail off, just like how Kelsey Harris's nail got popped off in that street, allegedly, or maybe not, I don't know. Have you been following the Tory Lanez case? No. There's a very contentious pink acrylic nail that popped off in the street. It's very contentious.
BJ Investigate. Y'all see my nail? I hit my finger the other day. Oh my God, my finger was bleeding so badly. I broke my nail. But BJ Investigates or ThatSurpriseWitness. There's quite a few other ones, but those are the top names I'm going to call because I've been on their shows and now all of a sudden they don't even say the name. They act like it doesn't exist. Go on their channels, do a search and tell me when they've said my name in the last 2 months. The last 3 months, you will not find it. Since this trial started, you will not find it because they are collectively, I don't know, upon my own opinion and belief, drop that disclaimer, my own opinion and belief, they are not saying my name. You know why? Because why would they want to send people over here? Because people who are new to the case or not well-versed, if they hear something like, there's a woman who Puffy shot, oh my God, let me go hear what she has to say. They don't want to drive attention my way. That's that punk hater. Excuse my French. Forgive me, Father God. I'm going to call it what it is. That's that punk hater. And you know me, I'm a truth teller. I cry aloud and spare not. So I don't have no time to sit here and not call the names.
Okay, then this person goes into a longer, I don't know. We'll say monologue about, frankly, it's delusions because I had no desire. How many months ago was this? I didn't even say anything about it. But that challenge, she said, go and see, type it in and search it. What's the most, last time they talked about me in the last 2 months? I bet you they didn't or whatever. You just heard her say it. Okay. See the date on that? June 17th. So the last 2 months would have been any time since April 17th, right? Okay. Well, here's a video right here that premiered May 21st. It's just a few weeks before. Challenged people to go and check. When's the last time I said her name? Well, let's check this part of this video out right here. It's called Free Diddy Protesters Paid $20 in Diddy Coins. She alleges that she is a victim of Diddy from that Shine nightclub shooting. Now, Shine took the fall, but she has always maintained since like the 90s or like early 2000s, whatever, Diddy was the one who had the pew-pew. Diddy was the one who fired it, and Diddy is the one who left fragments of it in her skull to this day. She said, I know what I saw, and it was Sean P. Diddy Puff Daddy Combs. She says during that trial, for that, there was all kind of stuff with the Free Diddy and she called it like the Harlem Street Gang, Harlem Street Crew or something like that. They would go down with boom boxes, shirts, this, that, the other. And, you know, every time Diddy gets in trouble, this happens. Witnesses, this is her, what she said. Witnesses get messed with, go missing, stuff like that. And so it's like, well, her previous statements do seem to be a little bit more kind of supported at this point with this people getting paid. Now, listen. So as y'all can see, the video where I just said all of that stuff, praising her genuinely and, you know, rightfully, I mean, it was just a few weeks before. So again, I was fine to let that go. But the false allegations didn't end there. It actually got much worse and more egregious. So in that very same video, she says a few more things. You know, yeah, she says here to provide proof.
See, I'm not here to play games. I'm gonna cry loud and spare not, because any one of the people I've mentioned, if they are not ignoring me and they've said my name, tell me what episode. Tell me. And tell me if I'm not lying that they have made a collective blackout. What is the price of your integrity, Tisa? What's the price of your integrity, Mims? What's the price of your integrity, BJ? What's the price of your integrity, Ticket? How come y'all all of a sudden got amnesia? Well, listen, I'm not trying to be nobody's favorite, nothing, but I know what I know and I sees what I sees. What y'all up to? What are y'all up to? What nefarious activities are y'all up to?
Then she gives another kind of weird challenge, telling people to super chat me and says, go over there and try to say my name, super chat her and try to get her to say my name. And she guarantees, we'll put the clip in here, but something, you know, BJ's not going to say my name.
If I'm lying, I'm flying. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Put your investigative hat on, LaToya. I guarantee you won't find it. If you do find it, it'll be dated today going forward. If they endeavor to do so, prove me wrong. Everybody within the sound of my voice that had the intention of sending me a super chat, by all means, if you'd like to, continue to do so. However, go to each one of these people's respective channel and put a $1.99 super chat in and say, how come I never hear you talk about anymore? And let's see if they say it. And don't just at them, say, hey, BJ, what about... I don't hear you talk about her anymore. Isn't that your friend? Wasn't she on your show? Say it. I guarantee you your super chat gets ignored, but they'll read everyone else. Somebody will send a super chat that says, twinkle, twinkle, little star. They'll read it. Oh, twinkle, twinkle, little star. Thank you for the super chat. I guarantee you they ignore yours. I guarantee you. And for those who want to say it with their chest, throw it on a $20 super chat. I bet you they ignore it. I bet you they don't read it.
And it's like, I genuinely don't know why she believed that I was like trying to not say her name. I literally, weeks before she made that video, I did give her credit. It was just, maybe it was a mistake. Maybe she doesn't actually watch my videos. Maybe someone told her that. I really don't know, but it was perplexing to me because I also wasn't avoiding saying her name. And so just, you know, in true fashion, her followers did come to my channel, and many of them are my followers. Some people only know about her because she was on my channel or because I'm always hyping her up and talking about how things that she said happened in the past are now happening again. I'm before she started doing all this crazy stuff, accusing me of this insane stuff that we about to get into, I was doing that regularly. Now, I mean, I don't really trust her discernment, and you'll see why, so I can't really send nobody over there. But like, people did show up in my chat trying to get me to say her name, and I did. And I still to this day think that what she's been doing is a good thing. So this is just, it's like a created conflict out of nothing for no reason. You know, she said some other stuff, like kind of, I felt like it was a little threatening, like everyone that she's ever been on the phone with, she has phone call recordings, including everybody she's named. We've never been on the phone.
But here's the thing. I know a snake when I see a snake. Let me say right now, for all of the people whose names I've called out, and there are some others, and all of the content creators who, if you've ever picked up the phone and called me and had a discussion with me, I recorded you. I recorded the entire conversation. And then after I got off the phone, I listened to it again, and I made notes for minute and second marker notes. And I have it in a book. So I can revisit it anytime. So if I'm lying, try me out. You know, I'll come back. Try me. Every single one of you that I've ever talked to, that I called their names, I recorded you. So try come and disrespect me. Come and swear up and down that I'm a liar. Even the person who said there's a YouTube mafia. I tell me I'm lying. I'll play it. Listen, I'll play them. Play them. I live in a single party consent. I'll put the YouTube fair use guideline up. I live in a single party consent state. I could play. So try your best.
So I don't know if that was supposed to be implying that she had recorded me on a phone call. I mean, okay. So is the CIA and the FBI and every one of my ops, most likely. They probably, Rock Nation probably hacked in at this point. So, I mean, I hope y'all are having a good time listening in to nothing. It's just too much. It really, truly, it kind of hurt my feelings. But it's just like, if I'm a liar, call me out. Well, I don't know if she's a liar, but she was certainly mistaken at the least. So then she makes this next video a few weeks later, July 7th, called Karen Said What?, in which she starts to sympathize with Diddy supporters. This is a stark and sudden turn in contrast because, you know, she claims to be a Diddy victim, and I do believe she is. Why would she be teaming up with people, collaborating with people, having people on her channel that's Diddy supporters if she's mad at me that I'm not trying to send people over to her channel? I don't know. It just, something seems weird about her teaming up with Diddy supporters, but it was with those people, the Diddy supporters, who had their little line racket going. In my opinion, it was a racket. And they, you know, tried to cut me out of the line and all that. I don't really feel like getting into the details of that right now. I do have the documentary coming at some point. And then when's it coming? I know y'all are asking. You're just on the edge of your seat waiting for the documentary. I'm gonna tell you the documentary is coming whenever I feel like. So who knows? I don't even know when. Definitely not right now. Not today. Today you get this. But she's on here, I guess, with her friend. Karen Said What? Cutting through the lies outside the Diddy trial. And this person who, again, I'd been nice to, I had, as y'all saw, put her story out there. I had done all these other things, you know, indicating my true feelings that I liked her and respected her. When she had these issues, these problems come up, she didn't contact me. No, it just, I mean, all of a sudden, I just get wind that she thinks all kinds of false things. It's just very strange to me. And it does continue to happen. It's very strange. But here she is acting like she was in the line. She's acting like she saw it all and she knows what happened. She wasn't there. False things. She said so many things that were completely and utterly false. Some things, you know, racially vicious, you know, race-based comments that I think it's like, you know, it's 2025. Like, can we move beyond? But then, you know, all that stuff, I'm pretty much willing to let it go. But then she says this.
I said it weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
I see a problem. I'm telling you, to a point where God even showed me something else. People powdering their nose right on live. What? Who was powdering their nose on live? BJ. Are you serious? I promise to God, with a makeup brush constantly. I got shot in my nose. My nose is sensitive. I don't touch my nose that much. You might see me wipe my nose. No, I don't have a cold. Sometimes my nose will still get this weird kind of, it's a combination of numb and tingly. And when that happens, it's easy for me to just wipe my nose because once I touch it, it soothes the nerves. That's where my entry wound is, my nose. Yeah. I touch my nose that much. For someone to take a makeup brush and be constantly powdering their nose, I noticed her. I just thought that she was just doing her makeup, child. I wasn't really paying attention. I didn't even think that. Like, whole beat. One day I was sitting on the couch and God said, "You don't see that in front of you?" Mm. What? He's like, "Look closely." Wow. What? That's crazy. And then I noticed frequency with which she seemed like she was. You know what? Listen, Kayla, please put the disclaimer in the chat. Let me put it up on I was going to say, you got to be careful, girl. You got a whole system here, girl. I remind folks every day of my First Amendment right, my inalienable right to free speech. I'm a legal expert. I tell you, I stand firmly on God. What I don't tolerate against you, me, or anybody else is disrespect. Mm-hmm. And here's why I know it was a fact, what I said. Okay. Put my disclaimer up first.
She even said, here's why I know it was a fact. Okay, but just baseline defamation, okay? Stating something that's false and harmful as if it's a fact. And she's going to get into it right here in this video and how she knows it was a fact on what she said.
The views expressed by the Joker's Nerd are protected by the First Amendment right of the United States Constitution.
It's funny.
Thank you, my love.
It's hilarious to make shit up.
Of them, baby. I didn't come to play. I came to stay.
If she didn't come to play, I do wonder why she's acting so clownish.
I'm here about my father's business, and I'm not going to take any fool.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be a love fest. When you get to a place that has an organized structure and system, policy and procedure, and people have been in place for time immemorial, and that has been running, you don't get to come the last day of the gravy train and we know what Columbus is. That's coming and planting your flag on the new land and saying, I've discovered America.
No, honey, we didn't hear. You didn't discover nothing.
So then she said some other ridiculous thing. And then, she asked God to strike content creators that went against her. Oh, my Lord, girl.
Tell me a child of God did this.
Just to be clear about this AI, these demons, somebody asked Grok, and it wasn't me. Somebody else asked Grok to show what these people's souls looks like on the inside, and that is what it came up with, okay? I did not make that. So I agree, it's not a child of God, that's a demon, and that's what I was continuously saying, and I still believe. Try to keep up. Like, it's just wrong fact after wrong fact.
Like I told y'all, all those content creators that came against me, I got down on my face and prayed to God.
Y'all, I think that I'm the content creators. Like, she's saying the content creators are going against her. Like, it's just simply not true. Like, maybe some other people are in a group going against her, but I did not do that. And in fact, and indeed, it's provably, demonstrably false based on the evidence I showed y'all earlier. Go look that video up yourself right now. I was giving her her flowers. I was checking in with the boss.
I didn't tell him to harm them. I didn't cry for no harm. I prayed. I said, Father God, reveal all of them that were a part of this dirty deed and expose them to the world for what they did and for all of their misdeeds. Not only did he expose them all,
which content creators are you talking about?
There was a bunch of content creators that gathered around. They got in a consortium to block me out. They didn't want anybody to subvert my channel, to block me out. They didn't want any coverage to go to me because...
Well, I wasn't in that for sure.
Here's what my assessment of it was. They felt like because I was his actual survivor, that when they thought I was going to cover the trial every day. I keep telling them, I'm the only person in this thing involuntarily. I'm the only one here, and I didn't ask to be here. He shot me in my face, and it drew me inexplicably connected to his life. I didn't ask to be. Everybody else came to this of their own free will.
Yeah.
Everybody.
So that was pretty much that for that video. And then she does make, again, I say nothing. I say nothing. She says it's a fact that I'm powdering my nose. I say nothing. And instead of just letting it go, she, for some reason, decides to continue making these false statements. She mentions the powdering the nose again. And just off the bat, I don't have to really explain shit to anybody. But I have said why I use the powder puff to powder my nose. It's because I have very sensitive skin and I'm allergic to most things, including my makeup, this microphone cover, all kind of stuff. I'm a sensitive person. I can't even be outside longer than a few minutes before a poison ivy or a bee or the sun. I'm like an indoor cat, okay? So I'm allergic to everything. And air conditioning and pollen and dust and this and that, and it just itches. So instead of scratching my nose and wiping all my makeup off, which I have absolutely done, my nose turns red. I was live during the Diddy trial, so I was scratching my nose and sometimes fixing my makeup because I'm live 4 hours, 6 hours, sometimes close to 8 hours. Sometimes I'm actually powdering, the grease on my forehead. Sometimes I'm putting a little powder on there. I thought that was allowed. But it's like, no, she's rubbing freaking cocaine on her nose. And then she doubles down. Like, listen, we'll get into whether or not I've ever done that in my life, which the answer is no. But I'm told by people who have and who have familiarity with it, if you're rubbing that on your nose, straight directly on your nose, grinding it in with a powder brush, hours and hours and hours a day for 2 months, you would not have a nose left. It would like disintegrate the skin off the front of you. You have like the necrosis. I don't know if that's true. I don't. But like, that's not even an optimal way. Did that ever happen? Or was it just, it was transmuting it through the nose pores? Or was it just to lie on my name? Something I have never done and would never do to this person. Let's see what she said at this 1 hour and 9 minutes. I mean, it's the whole freaking, what was this 4-hour live stream about me? Still, I said nothing. I do think it was right around this point where I was like, I might need to say something.
Yeah.
As soon as I pointed out that I was made to be aware by God of her taking a powder puff constantly and dusting her nose, and I was like, God said, you don't see that? And I was like,
Yeah.
what? And powdering her nose on, who does that? What is that about? What is that about? As soon as I mentioned it, she stopped.
God. This is the second time she brings God into this. And it won't be the last. An hour goes by, 54 and a half minutes or so goes by, and she's just got to remind everyone, God told her.
Did you come and meet a pair of lashes and wigs standing in the line, or did you meet a woman who can adorn herself however she wants? Same way you be sitting up there powdering your nose on TV, powdering your nose on TV. And I don't mean applying makeup. I said what I said. Powdering your nose right on that screen.
She went full screen to double down on the false accusation. This is the third video she made that allegation. Accusation. Like, notwithstanding the fact that I'm pretty sure you can't just rub on your fucking nose and get high. It's almost as if people can't even fathom just like working really hard and being on live all day just because it's like, even though you're tired, you just keep going. It must be something else. And it can't just be an accusation coming from her. It can't be I heard somewhere. It has got to be God told her.
Powdering her nose right on that screen. Y'all heard the term powdering my nose?
I never heard it till this.
Where do you think that was created from?
I think it was created from the 1920s when the women would get up and go to the bathroom and put powder on their nose because they didn't want to look greasy because there was no central air. That's what I heard.
Them people in the past over there in the far reaches of the internet and society and time and space.
I don't know if it was like the demon possessed her at that moment. Like her whole voice and everything just changed. I don't know what that was about.
Powdering your nose. I know what I'm talking about because the behavior stopped. If it was nothing wrong with it, you'd be powdering your nose still, but you ain't touched that powder puff since I mentioned that publicly. God showed it to me. Another completely false statement. I have never stopped picking up the brush. I need to get a new one. I saw you doing it. I never studied. I never paid attention to it. I don't know what this weird like code switch is. Like I've never heard this accent at all. It's like whenever the lying demon comes out, that's when that accent comes out. I was sitting there and God said, you don't see that? And I was like, what? And he was like, in front of your face. You don't see that. And I was like, And I was like, what, God? Right there. That woman powdering her nose. It was God. God just came into the living room. And I was like, looking at the live, like, what? And he said, right in front of your face, look closely. And then I looked, and then I was like, God said it, y'all. Hilarious. Now, why would somebody be powdering their face if you're not applying makeup? the beat was already done. Why would somebody be tapping a powder puff at the side and dusting their nose while they're sitting on while they're 7 hours into their session? Maybe their nose itched crazy. And you can see the harm that she's doing right here in the chat. Look, that's ungodly, people are saying. She on that stuff. No lies detected. No lies detected, but was any detected? We're going to find out just as soon as we get into this hair follicle test. Because I took one. Yes, I did. Okay, did it in there? You might be wondering. No, it didn't. It sure didn't. There's just actually more. There's actually more. And this is what God's favorite has to deal with on a daily basis. So come to find out, I had also been mentioning her, other times throughout the trial. I never joined any collusion. I never joined any group. I'm not in a group chat with any YouTubers. I'm not even in one group chat. I don't have a Discord. And if I'm live 7, 8, 9 hours a day, you can best believe, I don't think I've ever been live 9 hours a day. That might have been an exaggeration. If I'm live 4 hours a day, you can best believe I'm not like kikiing
bullying all day, all night with the group chat. I never joined a collusion to exclude her. In fact, and indeed, I had mentioned her name whenever she kept saying that there was a mafia that had a plan against her. I don't know if it was delusion. I don't know if it was paranoia. I don't know if it was straight up lies and bullying just to be mean. I don't know. But none of that was true. And the way that she said it with such conviction, it was God. It was God. Maybe some of y'all already know. Maybe some of y'all don't. You know, the way that my dad died. I have reason to believe she knows the way that my dad died. It was drug overdose. Okay. So it was a pretty nasty and low down insulting thing to even speculate. Just because other people are, I don't know, maybe too lazy to fathom getting off their ass and doing something all day doesn't mean that somebody else is on. So I went down to the LabCorp and I got myself a hair follicle test. It was very expensive. It was more than $500. No, insurance did not cover it because I have a reputation to uphold. I have a brand to protect. More importantly, I'm a little concerned with the truth. One video, 2 video, 3 video, 4, not speculating, but saying that she had the First Amendment right to lie, to say something untrue. And you know what really scares me? Whatever it is in the hell that's talking to her ain't God. It ain't God, and I rebuke. Here's the results. Let's look at them. You'll see one positive result. You know what that's from? Vyvanse. Let me get the bottle out just because this is what I have to do now. Let me get the bottle out. Here it is. Here it is right here. I'll post a picture of it once I take out all my personal identifying information. But here's the thing. People in glass houses shouldn't throw stones because I never asked for proof of anything she said. But here's some proof. Here's the results right here. Okay, let's just go through these results real quick. Now, this is a hair follicle test. Okay, so the hair follicles would go back 90 days, 3 months. So they go back all the way to April. The Diddy trial started in May. May 5th, I believe, jury selection started. May 12th, I believe, the trial, the opening statements, if I recall correctly, but it started in May. So these hair follicle results would cover every single moment I was on live stream from the Diddy trial. So let's take a look at the important category first, shall we? That would be... I didn't know exactly powdering your nose was some type of street slang, some type of, I don't know, code word for... But I guess it is. So let's go to that line right there. Do you see what the hair follicle result says for that would be negative. I already told y'all about the Vyvanse. That's the positive result right there. Barbiturates, negative. Benzodiazepines, negative. I haven't even taken a freaking Xanax, not a Ativan, not a Klonopin, prescribed or otherwise, much less methadone, negative. Opiates, negative. Whatever in the hell propixapine is, negative. All of this I had to do. Laughing. I didn't come to play. Leaving aside for one moment the level of depraved and demonic you have to be to laugh and make that type of allegation about someone who lost a parent. He won't be at my wedding. He won't meet a single grandchild, not one, because of drugs. So let's just leave aside for the callousness that it requires for someone to make a statement just even that one time like that. But to laugh and continue to say it to person after person who comes on the live stream, God said it? That isn't God, baby girl. And I rebuke whatever in the hell it is, because it ain't God. And I ain't on cocaine. I think that's pretty much all I had to say for this one. Please do not send any hate to anyone mentioned in today's video. This video and the purpose of it was to report on the truth, which is that I did not do on the live stream, and I would never do that. In fact, and indeed, never once in my life have I done cocaine. Never, not once. And certainly not in the 90 days depicted in this test. Now, I'll accept an apology and a retraction in just as loud of a forum as the false accusations, or not. Doesn't really make a difference to me because God will take care of me. That's all I really had for this one. In the meantime, facts ain't defamation, but lies might be. Love you, Mina K. Bye.